Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey friends. So today I'm super excited to have a quick chat with my good friend, Mr. Chris Hedstrom. So Chris has been licensed now since 2010, mid-2010, and with REMAX River City more or less since 2014, yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. And so recently became an associate broker, and you've done some coaching as a coach with Tom Ferry organization. And today we're going to chat a little bit about our mentorship program because you are one of our mentors and have some insights to share about our mentorship program. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. So yeah, I think you jot down some points. So I guess what are your top points or I guess awareness about our mentorship program?
Well, a couple of things, like for me, the main things I wanted to sort of address was, I know mentorship for a lot of new agents is probably when they look at the whole package as a whole. You know, one of the biggest objections I find is it's the fees that are involved with the mentorship program.
Okay.
And what I find is anyone that I've talked to about it is when they're discussing fees and the cost of the mentorship program and what they're going to get out of it. I treat the mentorship program as an investment. And anytime for me, if I'm investing in myself, I always think of what is the return I'm going to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm not going to invest in the stock market and not expect to get any kind of return. So if people were to look at the return they get on the mentorship program as a whole, as a brand new agent, for example, most people come into the business, they think, hey, you know what, I'm going to make all this money, but they don't have a plan on where the money's coming from. How are they going to make it? And having the opportunity to partner up with a seasoned agent that is going to sort of help you accelerate the learning curve and get you to that point where, you know, what takes the average agent 3 or 4 years to actually get to learn. I mean, some of us that have been doing this 10 plus years are still learning every day.
Yeah.
And so sort of think that I'm going to come in this industry and it's like, okay, well, now what? Having someone there to sort of guide you and to set up like, okay, where are your leads coming from? How are you going to get those leads? Do you have any kind of follow-up plan? Do you have a CRM? Do you have a website? And when you're looking at those options, what are some good options? So that's sort of, I think, some of the guidance that is really beneficial from a mentorship standpoint. And again, the biggest thing is if you can accelerate where instead of doing that first deal in 6 months, well, now maybe you're doing it in 2 months or 3 months.
Right.
I think that's huge for someone coming into the industry. And if you can do a couple of deals in those first 6 months that are going to subsidize your learning,
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
So so one of the things I wanted to be clear on too is it's not a sales pitch on mentorship, right? It's just some insights on the program. We don't hide it; it's on our website, but it's a $10,000 investment for the apprentice, and it's paid out through results, so from transactions. And so although the mentor is not obligated to send referrals, it does often happen, and because they're invested in getting you some deals, right? And one of the things that you were alluding to is that once they come out of the course and they're licensed, most new to industry people just don't know what they don't know. And it's amazing what the course doesn't teach you as far as actually building a business and actually servicing clients. And that's where, you know, what you were saying about that learning curve is dropped dramatically, right? Yeah, great.
You know what, and it's huge because I found, and because, you know, I've been out of it for a while, like I haven't done the course in a long time. You don't realize how ill prepared you are when you come out of that. Because, you know, they're teaching you the essentials. They're not teaching you how to negotiate with people, how to read people, how to show a property, how to open a lockbox, how to write a contract. And I was really surprised when you're taking a brand new agent at what they don't know. And that was kind of a, you know, for me, that was sort of a surprise. It sort of brought me back to start thinking, was I like this when I was new? And you know what, I was. We all were.
Totally.
We all came out of here thinking we're going to conquer the world. And then we're like, oh shit, how am I going to do that?
Yeah. What brand new car I'm going to buy with my first check?
Exactly, right. And then you're like, okay, where's that check coming from?
Yeah.
So it was a real eye opener for me to see how ill prepared people are when you're coming out of the court. Even myself as a new agent, I often said years later, I kicked myself for not joining a team or partnering up with somebody because I think of the money I left on the table by
Right.
being ill prepared. Right. So that was kind of it was a good learning curve for me as well. So, and then, you think for anyone looking to be a mentor, there's challenges that I've come into from mentoring
Right.
somebody as well.
Yeah, great.
And I think for me, one of the biggest challenges for me is I chose, because of COVID, I chose, I'm going to mentor someone that's only in real estate part-time, which is a bigger challenge than I anticipated it would be.
Sure.
And normally I would not have done that. The only reason I agreed to is with COVID, there were some uncertainties in the market. So, I understand when people are coming into the industry, they have a family to support. They've got to do what they need to do. So I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to take, step up, and I'm going to work for someone part-time. And it really does become a bit of a challenge because they only have so many days they can work, so many days they can meet, so many days that, you can get together to brainstorm. And because of that, I found that I really had to focus a lot more on the expectations and the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you've got someone that's not engaged full time because of, situations out of their control, when they do get busy, one of the things that the expectation is there that, I'm there to help them and I'm always there to help them, but I'm not there to do all the work for them because they're not available.
Right.
So, you sort of have to set those expectations in advance. I'm there to help and support as much as I can. But there has to be some limitations there. There has to be some accountability put back on the mentee.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so, like you said, the apprentice is the one that still has to take the action. You're there to help guide, give insight, show best practices, learn from your experiences and your mistakes that you've made over the years, right? And I think that's some good insight to be aware. What kind of time are you putting into that, or should somebody expect to be meeting with a mentor?
So we typically meet in the office at a minimum once a week, and it's anywhere from, depending on schedules, we've sat for 2 hours and we've sat for up to 4 and 5 hours in one sitting. Reasons for the longer meetings, we're writing an offer. So we're sitting down writing the first offer. For me, I thought it was important to take a little bit of extra time to go through some pertinent details on a contract, how to write a contract, how to do digital signing, so there was an extra learning curve there. And I didn't feel it was prudent to just sit down and say, let's just fill it out, get it sent off and go. You have to know what you're doing. And that was the other challenge, is from the paperwork standpoint, not knowing what's in a contract.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a little OCD about that stuff. And I think you have to know what you're having your client sign and the pertinent details about it. So, we'd spend a little extra time on stuff like that because it's a little more important.
Yeah, no question.
But
I mean, contracts is a huge tool, right? It's a big component of our business is the contracts, and knowing how to utilize them and how to educate the client about it and also present it. Yeah, there's a lot to that.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll do a minimum 2 hours a week, and that's of course not including you're typically texting during the week, you're emailing each other, you're talking on the phone. There's a lot of consultation that week. So for me, it's been a little more, I would say we're probably averaging 6 hours a week.
And now you guys are, it's a six month commitment, and you guys are what, a couple months in now, maybe just over a month. You've written some offers.
We're a couple months in now. So we actually wrote 2 offers in the last 2 weeks.
Great.
The second offer didn't come together, so we're actually working on an offer on a different property. So the third offer. So one of them is now firm, which is fantastic, and the next one is hopefully by the end of the day it'll be tied up as well.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I think
that's pretty good for a part-time.
So if you were,
for someone who's not.
Yeah, absolutely. And no real sales background with this gentleman, and also no real lead sources already established. So yeah, I think phenomenal. And so I guess, I mean, bottom line, if somebody were coming into the industry and considering mentorship, you know, what would you say to them about that program specifically?
I would say to really open your mind and put your ego aside. And I say that with all sincerity, because that was, I'll be honest, that was one of my issues when I came into the industry. I thought, I'm going to conquer it. I can do it on my own.
Yep.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with asking for help. There really isn't.
Yeah.
And if you can open your mind, be open to the concept, and sort of, you know, put your attitude in check. As old Zig Ziglar used to say, you know, sometimes you have to have a checkup from the neck up. And I think that's important. And embrace it. At least, you know, talk to somebody about it and determine if it's going to be a fit for you. Because to me, the most important part about the mentorship program is the fact that you choose. I mean, who you're going to work with. And that's one of the things I love about this industry is in every aspect of this industry, I choose who I want to work with. Whether it's my clients or whether I'm going to, you know, apprentice with somebody, I choose, they choose. It has to be a good fit. So it takes nothing but your time to sit down and talk to a few people and decide if it's a fit for you.
Great. I think, yeah, some huge, really important insights, especially for newer agents looking to get into the industry, or they've been in for a little bit and realize that they're way behind where they should be, to step things up. And if they want to know more about the mentorship or pick your brain at all, I think you're always available. Yeah.
Anytime.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hit up Chris for sure. Also, if any clients are looking at this and you want to use Chris to help you buy or sell or invest in your new home, he's your guy. Hit him up. And yeah, I can't thank you enough for your time today, Chris. Appreciate that very much.
Hey, no problem.
All right, man. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. Cheers.
Thanks, man. Hey, you too. You bet.